there's a certain notion that when somebody makes it, they feel like they owe it to someone, or they feel like they owe it to the community, which I think it comes from a kind of scavenger kind of mentality, for lack of a better term. I think there comes to not being able to actually being able to put your words in the right perspective, but also I think just kind of talking about what your culture is and how you feel you're owed something just because somebody made it. Okay. I think when it comes to certain celebrities that make it and they happen to have a similar background, I think everyone feels they're like, oh, they're like a family. Why aren't they having the same opinions that I have? Why aren't they doing the same thing that I want? It's like, not everyone's the same, dude, you know? And to me, I think the foremost job that an entertainer can do is just entertain, right? With everything in the world, I think you guys need to realize it takes so much, right? And this is not a complaint. This is just, I think sometimes people think, especially when it comes to comedians, that they think that because you're funny, it's something that kind of came to you, right? I think comedy is one of those things that when you're good at it, people think that it's a natural gift and it's a talent, meaning you were just kind of born that way and you just happen to have the stage persona. You just happen to be able to tell jokes in a certain way, or quirky things just happen to happen to you. And that's it, dude. No, dude, making it as a comedian is a lonely road, dude. It is a hard road. And I've done super shitty jobs too. I've worked morning telemarketing jobs where I had to wake up at 5 o'clock just so I can start calling people at the East Coast at like 9 a.m. So meaning I'm on the phone at 6 a.m. Pacific time. I've had to work in restaurants where you just smell like an oven after you get home. I've worked as a delivery driver. So I've done horrible, shitty jobs, dude. And to me, a bad day as a comedian is 10 times better than a good day as a freaking waiter. So I'll say that, right? But when it comes to actually getting to that place, it takes a lot of sacrifice, dude. You can't have normal relationships, all right? You can't have long-term friendships, unfortunately, sometimes. You can't be there for certain people, right? You can't make birthdays. You can't go to dinner parties. You can't do, there's a lot of sacrifice, which is fine, right? Because it's the life you choose. But it also takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of embarrassing yourself in front of people. Okay.
Hey, ¿qué tal mi gente? This is your host, Bryan Torresdey, with an important message. The only thing that Edgars love more than free takis and hooking up with tortas is going to street takeovers. Isn't that right, Edgar?
That's right, cuh.
When Edgars get kicked out of their mom's house or kicked out of the mall for shoplifting, you can find them at any street takeover. Isn't that right, Edgar?
That's right, cuh.
You can also find Edgar wearing our limited edition Ed, and Edgar tee, only 100 made. To get yours now, go to LOLTino.com. That's LOLTino.com. And if it says sold out,
you missed out, cuh.
That's right, Edgar. If you want to support the show, go to LOLTino.com. That's LOLTino.com. And get your t-shirt now. With that being said, let's get right back into the show.
And I think what a lot of people realize is that when you get to that point, right, that especially within the community, all of a sudden that they feel like entitled because they feel like they were part of your ride, right? Now, when it comes to that, I've been seeing a lot of blowback online happening to someone that I think is actually a great example of what it means to be Mexican American. Okay. Now I already see some comments. Oh, don't turn into Fluffy. I don't even know what that means, dude. You mean becoming a millionaire and helping your friends and family? This is what I'm starting to see right now online. And this is what I want to address right from the beginning. It's this whole notion of like, oh, dude, you owe us something, right? Thank you, man. I like the Torta Finder. I like your shirts, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. And right now, if you guys want to support the channel, right? I'm wearing our Ed, and Edgar t-shirt, guys. I'm wearing our Ed, and Edgar t-shirt. It's a spoof off Ed, and Eddie. They're at a street takeover. Go ahead and cop one of these right now for 25% off, guys. So if you guys want, go to LOLTINO.com right now, and everything will be 25% off. Okay. Now, going back to the Gabriel Iglesias thing, dude, which I'm starting to see a lot of people come at Gabriel for what? For being successful. To me, it's like there's a lot of people that I feel are going after Gabriel Iglesias right now, only because I feel like they feel like they are owed something. Okay. Now, that's the one thing I don't understand, guys. In our community, what we're owed is just someone blazing a trail and for us to go through and make it. Okay. If you guys saw, right? I don't know if you guys saw the Michael B. Jordan Oscars speech, but he had a great Oscar speech. And first of all, he thanked God, right? Which, without God, nothing else is possible. But the second thing he did is he started to thank all of those that blazed the trail before him, right? Denzel Washington, Sidney Poitier, a lot of Black actors that, he knows that they go through similar problems, just like he did, to make it, right? And the problem is that that's all he's owed, right? Did you hear Michael B. Jordan saying like, oh, I deserve to be up here because other so-and-so made it? No, he said, thank you for blazing the trail. Thank you for showing me that it can be done, right? That's all you have to do, especially if you come from a minority group, right? Where you've seen that it's harder to make it, right? All someone can do is just show you how to make it. All they can do is just show you that, hey, it is possible, right? Teach a man to fish, right? And with our community, I'm starting to see, no, don't teach me to fish. Hand me some fish. I'm starting to see, don't teach me how to fish. Hand me some fish. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. As Mexican Americans and Mexicanos, we all think that like, hey man, we are hard workers, we do this, except when it comes to our celebrities, right? Except when it comes to people that actually do something, all of a sudden, we feel like we earn it. Hey man, you made it, I should make it too. What is that mentality, dude? Or, hey, you need to give up everything and bring others along with you. Which, by the way, I'm going to talk about it. Gabriel Iglesias has brought others with him. Gabriel Iglesias has helped, I want to say, probably more than 30 comedians actually be able to make careers. Okay? He is doing what other white dudes have done in the past. Joe Rogan, when he makes it, his whole crew makes it. Adam Sandler, when he makes it, his whole crew makes it. Okay? Who's another one? Steve Martin, he brought up his whole crew too. Right? If you want to go more old school. Right? Gary Shandling, Judd Apatow, they bring up all their boys and give them careers. With Latinos, it's not as easy for us to make it. Okay? It is damn not easy for us to make it. It is a horrifying time trying to make it in Hollywood as a Mexican American, dude. They don't get our culture. They don't want to get our culture. We show them that, hey, man, someone like Gabriel Iglesias can sell out SoFi Stadium, right? But guess what? We don't trust you that people will come out to see a movie, so we're not going to give you the money. Meanwhile, Judd Apatow can put on Amy Schumer, who at that point was not even selling out theaters, and she gets her own movie.
Yo, what's up, guys? This podcast is presented by the Latino streetwear brand. It's the first Latino comedy streetwear brand to go mainstream. If you want to see more episodes, do me a favor, go to LOLTINO.com where you can cop the latest drop. Right now, I'm rocking the Puro Pinche Juicy Tortas Ninja Turtle style flat billed hat and the Make Latinx Latino Again t-shirt. Once again, guys, if you try to cop and it's sold out, you missed out, fool. Join our mailing list for up-to-date drops as well as discounts. With that being said, guys, we'll get right back into the episode. But remember, go to LOLTINO.com now.
Now, for our community, that's not enough, right? And we're going to talk about a guy who posted this, and this went viral, dude. And people came at me in the comments for defending Gabriel Iglesias. And guess what? I'll do it. You know why? Because he is a prime example of what a Latino comedian should be, all right? He gave his life to the art form. He's put out special after special. Everyone in his crew, I will tell you this right now, everyone in Gabriel's crew is Latino puro puro, right? They're Mexican-American for the most part. And he's brought up everybody, bro. I'm telling you, when he says that, hey, you're part of the crew, that means you're pretty much taken care of. I'll tell you this right now, guys. There is no one else in comedy that is more generous. And I know them all right? He has helped put on Latino comedy. When he got a show on Comedy Central, he goes, look, I want to host a show and I'm going to bring on all the Latino comedians that aren't getting TV specials. The ones that crush, comedians that kill and can't even get on Jimmy Fallon or can't even get on, at the time, the Conan O'Brien show. He said, you know what? I'm going to put you guys on. That is what somebody really does. Thank you, guys. Torta Finder. Thanks for the shout out, bro. Money changes people. Money does not change people. It makes you more of what you are. Okay? I'm seeing the comments right now coming in. But anyways, guys, we're going to watch a video and we're going to break it down. So this guy came on, and I think this guy is like some sort of social worker. Again, this whole issue when it comes to the Latino community and the whole Trump effect is that it's put it on that a lot of comedians, just because they don't want to touch into something that they don't really normally touch into, right? This is something that our culture does, and I'll say this, black culture does this too, okay? When they touch on something, a celebrity, they feel like they're owed someone else talking about it too. It's not how it works, guys. All right? If you're a comedian or if you're an artist and you're not political at all, and all of a sudden they are trying to force you to be political, it's a setup, guys. It's a setup. All right? So let's go ahead and see what this dude is saying, and we'll stop it and we'll talk about it. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Gabriel Iglesias, Mr. Fluffy. Bro, come on, man. You want us to feel bad for you? Oh, I'm a pocho. Mexicans don't look at me like a Mexican. They look at me like an American. Bro, we don't give a fuck what we look like, bro. We're looking at you like a piece of shit.
Okay, so first of all, I know what he's talking about, dude. The whole thing with Gabriel saying that he's a pocho, do you guys actually know the context about this? He wasn't complaining about it. All right, let's just lay it down from beginning to end. He was not complaining about it. This is what he actually said.
Mexican, but born in the U.S. So the word is pocho. So normally that's considered a negative word. Mm-hmm. So I said, let's flip that word and make it a word that's like, all right, I'm acknowledging what you call me, but I'm going to make it awesome. So I came up with a tequila called Pocho Fino. So Fino is fine. I'm a fine pocho. So it's like one of those things.
So that's it. That's all Gabriel talked about, guys. That is all he talked about. He said, hey, they call me a pocho, all right? And guess what? Instead of using that as a traditional slur, which they do for all Mexican Americans when you go to Mexico, you know, when you visit your primos and shit, when they do that, I'm going to just turn that negative stereotype into something funny, which is what comedians do, all right? That's all he did. And then this dude thinks that Gabriel was all of a sudden complaining about being a pocho. Oh, I don't look. No, he's saying, hey, they call me pocho, and guess what? I'm going to make that my own. I'm going to make that a funny term now. We're taking that term back.
Out here talking about, oh, I'm so sad for Charlie Kirk, and he was a husband, he should have deserved.
So, by the way, that's where it boils down to, guys. Let's look at this really
Give
quick.
a fuck what we look like, bro.
So, guys,
we're looking at you.
Gabriel Iglesias showed empathy for Charlie Kirk. That's what it boils down to. So, guys, just so you guys know, according to this dude, and by the way, a bunch of crazed Latinxes, I'm not even going to call them Latinos, Latinxes, they think that all of a sudden you're not Mexican American or real Latino because you showed empathy to the greatest political assassination in the last 35 years, 40 years, since my lifetime. There has never been a bigger political assassination since the Charlie Kirk shooting. And because Gabriel said, hey guys, people should be able to say what they want and not get shot, these Latinxes all of a sudden call you a Trumper, dude. That is absolutely stupid. That is pendejo de primera. So you're telling me that because a guy got shot live in the neck in front of college students, all of a sudden you feel bad for him and say that out loud in the public sphere? All of a sudden that makes you MAGA. That is beyond pendejo. By the way, you know who also showed empathy for the Charlie Kirk shooting? Barack Obama. You know who else showed empathy? Bernie Sanders. Are they MAGA? Like, that's how stupid you guys are, right? Let's show this, right? Charlie Kirk statement. Here we go, on X. The day that Charlie Kirk died. This is Barack Obama, right? We don't know what the motive of the person who shot Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I are praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife Erica and their 2 young children. Guess who else commented on that same thing? Gabriel Iglesias. Not MAGA. That is how stupid some of these Latinxes are. Just wanted to make that point. Let's continue.
For Charlie Kirk, and he was a husband, he should have deserved to die, bitch. Why the fuck aren't you doing that for us? Why don't you do that for the Mexicans out here that are getting fucking kidnapped by ICE?
Okay, so why aren't you doing that for the Mexicans? He is helping Mexicans, dude. Did I just tell you he's giving more Mexicans careers? He's teaching them how to fish versus just throwing them fish. This dude wants what? Gabriel Iglesias to stop like the ICE Karens and start ramming his tour bus into ICE. Like, how stupid can you be? Gabriel Iglesias is using his resources to help Latinos the best way he knows how, which is saying, hey, guys, it took me so much effort to make it. And if you're a Latino comedian, meaning the area that I'm an expert in, the area that I gave my entire life to be successful in, if you are trying to make it, I am going to help you. And if you're Latino, I will help you. Dude, that is something that no one else is doing. All right? You want to talk about the other great Latino comedian, someone like what, George Lopez? Do you guys see George Lopez helping out other Latino comedians? No. You know what George Lopez is saying? George Lopez is saying, who's Ralph Barbosa? Who's that? I don't know that. Remember that? That's what we're getting out there, guys. And by the way, if George is saying that, you want to know what white executives in Hollywood are saying? You think they give a damn about us? Oh, man. Gabriel is helping Latinos in the area that he's an expert in. That's all he's doing. Hey, I blaze the trail and I'm going to make sure that you don't have to walk on the dirtiest and roughest parts of that trail. I got you. And look what he's done. And look at this dude. Just because Gabriel isn't going out there and fighting ICE agents. By the way, you also don't know what maybe he has donated money. I mean, I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to go off of what I know. But this is how stupid they are.
You don't give a shit about your fucking people. And then you go on the TV saying, I'm a pocho. Bitch, we don't give a fuck if you're a pocho. What we give a fuck about is if you're actually going to defend your people. And you're not. You're saying, ay, pobrecito Charlie Kirk. Instead of going out here and saying, hey, pobrecito, these people that are getting kidnapped every goddamn day by the same people that are fucking paying me to go to these goddamn shows.
Okay, here we go. Here's another thing, too, that I hate about this whole... Guys, getting deported as a Latino and being undocumentado and being a freaking mojado has been happening since the beginning of the United States selling their land, or Mexico selling their land to the United States. Okay? Y'all act like deportations just started January 1st of 2024. I am so tired of all of a sudden Latinos acting like, oh, because Trump is deporting people, all of a sudden, now we got to stand up. Pendejo, what were you doing the last 8 years or the last 12 years? Guys, my abuelo, who lived in the United States for 30 plus years, tried to renew his visa and it got denied. And he had to go back to Mexico. And you know who was president then? Barack Obama, a Mexican who had grandchildren who were American citizens, had his visa revoked when he tried to renew it, and he did it on the appropriate time. They said no, and that happened during the Obama administration. And you have idiots like this that now Trump is deporting Latinos. All of a sudden, he thinks that Gabriel should give up his entire platform to try to help some illegal aliens. And Gabe said it himself. I'm Mexican American. Gabe's like, I tried to be Mexican and the Mexicans rejected me, so I'm Mexican American. Now you want that same dude who's literally rejected by the group? Now you guys are crying and saying, well, now help us. That's how stupid you guys sound.
So, bro, we don't give a fuck if you're Mexican. We don't give a fuck if you're American. What we're seeing is un fraude, a fucking nopal en la frente who is taking advantage of his own people to make money.
Taking advantage of his own people, guys. What does that even mean? What does it mean to take advantage of someone? Is it taking advantage of someone when they buy a ticket to your show, and then you put on that show? And they laugh and they enjoy it and they want to take photos with you and they want to get your autograph. And guess what you do? When they want to take photos, you take the photos with them. And when they want the autograph, you give them the autograph. And that feeling that you get when you see an artist that you've admired live and then they perform for you and give you a great show and still stick around to meet with you and shake your hand, all of a sudden, that's taking advantage? No. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. No, you put on a show and they loved it. There's no taking advantage here.
Not giving a shit about your American culture, about your Mexican culture, or about being Mexican. You don't give a fuck about being Latino. You just want our money. So
you just want our money. And guess what we want? Entertainment. And that's a trade-off. That's a trade-off that's been happening since the beginning of time. All right? Do you guys understand? No other community does this, all right? Like Asians. Do you see Asians going up to Jackie Chan and being like, hey, Jackie, I saw Rush Hour 2, man. Now you owe it to me. I'm illegal here, so you got to fight for me. Guys, you guys know most illegals in the United States are coming from China now. So Jackie Chan owes it to them because they went and saw Rush Hour. Or they saw the latest Karate Kid movie. And if he doesn't help, then he's taking advantage of them. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. right? If you go to a restaurant and you give McDonald's money for a hamburger, and then guess what? You go back to that McDonald's and then there's an ICE agent there and you happen to get deported. Do you blame McDonald's? Hey, I supported McDonald's. Why aren't you guys fighting and hiring me a lawyer and fighting for me? No, you don't do that because that's a stupid thing. Only a stupid person would assume that.
Guess what, Mr. Fluffy? Fuck you, and we don't give a shit about you. We don't give a fuck if you feel bad that you're not goddamn Mexican. We just want you to be a real motherfucker, something that you...
I love this too, by the way. I'm not going to say it on the stream, but a real MFer. You know what a real MFer means? I'm a real one. I don't take... You know what that means? That means I am guided by my emotions. You guys ever hear people say, oh, dude, I keep it real, bro. I'm a real one. Nah, bro. I can't let that go. I'm real. You know what that means? That means I am a juvenile in my decision making. That means when somebody makes me slightly uncomfortable, I literally blow the F up and escalate the situation. And then we'll put my family, more than likely, myself and my family and or friends around me in this situation and probably end up in jail or beaten up or shot. That's what happens, dude, when people say, we want you to be real. No, that means that you want Gabriel Iglesias to be an uneducated moron who gets guided by his emotions, just like you. This is an emotional rant. You see this whole video right here? This is the perfect summation of dudes who quote unquote keep it real. This is a grown man getting emotional over someone else's success and someone else having an opinion, and he's crying about it. And he's saying, be a real MFer. If being a real MFer means that I have to crash out over someone else's emotions, I'm not a real MFer. I'm an idiot. I'm a dumb MFer. That's what that means. This whole stupid, I love this comment, Sammy, yes, they want him to be a tribal dummy. That's exactly right. Latino, Latino.